Good. I'm going to move into the final discussion today, and this is really on sustainability. How can we collaborate? And in our view, from our perspective, what does the future look like? So maybe Nicola, Hans, it's a question back to you, and how can we make sure, or how can we support to make sure that leaders in the food industry have a good sense of environmental responsibility? And again, I say environmental, but including water into that, looking at managing their water resource, and how can we collaborate, not even with Nutri Sciences, but also with academia, with most probably the public sector as well, to bring awareness to this very important topic.
But maybe to start, I see four main priorities, and I'm sure, Hans, you will have a lot more to comment. The four would be: one, to set very clear water reduction targets and ambitious targets. So that's the first priority. Second, every actor needs to collaborate with other stakeholders, suppliers, customers. The solution is always collaborating with others. Third would be to invest in research and innovation, is to really dedicate a significant part of our innovation effort into reducing water usage. And fourth is raising the awareness of all our employees, all our partners, training people about water usage. We need to have a big target and a lot also of smaller actions in the field. So I really see those four priorities.
Great. And do you want to add to that?
Yeah, very good points indeed, Nicola. And I think what is also important is that companies, stakeholders, create the capacity and the systems in the organization to really manage the problem. So I think we are beyond the point of even beyond the point of awareness and setting targets. It's really now making it daily practice in how to improve your impact, and so that starts with understanding your supply chain, your what's happening in your factory, but also what's happening outside your factory, so at your suppliers, but also how can you improve products, because we didn't touch upon this yet. How can we improve products so that they need, for instance, less water in the use phase, or whatever you can think about. So there's it's very holistic approach where you have to end up and which you have to implement in your company, and that it's very enjoyable too. So it's something very let's say additional that companies normally work on. It's on one side, it's a need. You have to do it. You have to do it from, let's say, the global impact. We all have to work on. But it's also when you start working on it, it's really making your business better, and it's making better business basically, and it's really a good thing to do. So that's. Maybe I become a little bit too philosophical, but
no, you're not, Hans. Around this round table, the three of us, we live in 3 different European countries, Hamza in North America, and in recent days, months, we've all in our countries been confronted with the big challenge of water being scarce and scarce. And I don't even speak about other parts of the world, further south, who are much more severely affected than we are. So it's a very serious topic, which do make sense for us as citizens of the world and also employees of this company. I would like to maybe add 2 points, which I think are quite specific to the food chain in which we operate. One is the broader battle against food loss, food waste. It's something somewhere around a third, we believe, of food that is wasted at different points of the chain. If there's less waste, I mean, it's water just
Yeah.
in the same proportion, and that's quite specific to our sector. And there is a second one, is we do need food to be made in a sustainable way, but we also need food that is safe, and we need food that is of good quality. So it's not or safe or good quality or sustainable. It's and the three. So we need to make sure, and water plays an important role. So water has to be safe, water has to be of good quality, and made in a sustainable manner. And that's where it's really the mission of our company, Mairie Nutri Sciences. We say in few words, we are there to modestly, but to at a maximum contribute to better food, better health, and better world. And to do this is to link all together the objectives of safety, quality, and sustainability in the food chain. If we're able to play a small role in that direction, modestly again, this will for each and every one of us means we are a little bit useful.
Good. Agree with that. I think it sometimes becomes more of a personal discussion as well on looking at yourself and where you're saving and where you're wasting, not only with food, with water as well. And I think, Hans, when you explained a little bit where do businesses start, for sure, I think it's good for businesses to do, like you said, becoming philosophical about that.
But you know,
But in
being philosophical in a very good sense, because
absolutely,
you're not a human being on the weekend and then a business person in weekdays, otherwise that's called schizophrenia.
yeah,
And no, we are one and only one, and we do our best to try to bring the two together.
absolutely, absolutely. So maybe a question that we've touched on a little bit. What does the future look like? And maybe Hans, again, you and Nicolas, how is Marine Nutri Sciences contributing to shaping a more sustainable and water secure future, both internally, maybe looking at our own business, but how do we walk this journey with our customers?
I've been speaking too much, so I let you, Hans, have the final words.
Yeah, thanks, Nicola. Yeah, where is this journey going with our customers? I think on many levels. So there are so many aspects when it's about water. So quality aspects, security aspects, enough water. The work we do now with many big food companies, but also retailers, is really on getting agriculture more sustainable, but also adapting to climate change. And what we now do with our customers is inventorying let's say, the problems in the food supply chain, and see how you can adapt on that. And that is reducing, of course, the water use and using water in a smart way, basically. But sometimes it also is about adapting the breeds of your crops so that they are more, let's say, drought resistant. Or maybe it's even about moving to other cultivation areas, cropping areas. So yeah, maybe this is not a very coherent story. Getting this more sustainable agricultural production, not only on the short term, but also on the longer run, staying in business on the longer run. What does it mean for our agricultural production? And that's really the topic that is on top of the agenda at many companies at the moment. And there's so much work to do, and I'm convinced that with Nutri Sciences we can so much, let's say, we can support them in a very good manner with the different services we can offer.
Good. So closing thoughts, closing advices to the audience, to the panel. Maybe does everybody want to give a quick last final piece of advice to our audience? Maybe Paolo, you want to start?
Oh, thank you so much. We have a lot of work to do and a lot of analysis to improve, but we are here to to work with you, with all of you, with food and customer, and with the environmental customer, also packaging. So we're doing the better to improve this knowledge about emerging contaminants. Uh, Man produced in the past these consumer goods, but now he had to try to transform our world in a better way, and to give our contribution to solve some problems, in particular for safety for man, for our and for the future, for the other people. So thank you so much from Italy.
Thank you. Nicola?
I would say make decisions that are based on science, embrace collaboration, really innovate, and especially on that field of water-related challenges. And last word, I would say, becoming really sustainable is not something we do on top when we have time. It has to be at the heart of our strategy, at the heart of our decisions every day.
Great. Great. Hans, some final comments from you?
No, really well said, Nicola. So I've nothing to add on this. And yeah, I see a lot of motivation throughout the company to work on this topic, and water and footprinting in general, sustainability. It's really something you need to, let's say, do as part of your daily business.
Great. Thanks, Hans. And just finally for me, I think the time to take action is now. We see sometimes that or businesses know their impact, but with no specific action. I think, Nicola, the comment about ambitious goals, measuring those goals, really important, making sure that you stick to those goals. Whatever the challenge is, because setting those goals comes with many challenges, and not to get demotivated when these goals are not always met. So I think if it's a final message from me is to take action. Let's keep motivated, and please reach out if there's any support that Mario can bring to that. So thank you everyone for joining. As you can see, it's just a little bit of information on a very complex topic. And if there's specific information that you need from this discussion with the experts, please do not hesitate to reach out. So thank you for joining.